should be live. We'll give it a minute here. Go to your channel. Yes, it looks like we are live. Hope everybody is well. Hope everybody is excellent. So, I have been working on trying to get everything working for the live stream this afternoon. So, just so you guys are aware of what I'm doing, I'm planning on doing something of a marathon live stream. It's going to be weird because my original plan, and of course I know nobody's watching right now, but if anybody rewinds and watches the beginning of this, I guess, welcome. And CDJ is here, says, hope you're feeling you're getting better. Well, not really, CD, but I'll tell you that I get to go in for another MRI tomorrow, so I'll get into that here. So, my original plan, and you know, it's funny because what's the old saying about plans of mice and men? I don't even know what the saying is. I just know that part of it, that something about plans of mice and men. Does anybody know what that saying is? Because I'm very curious as to what is the whole thing with plans of mice and men, because I don't understand. I've never heard of mice making plans. But anyway, so here's the plan of this mouse. Well, I'm not a mouse, but whatever. And forgive me, I need to clean my glasses. They're a little foggy here. So... yeah, exactly. Yeah, CD, the best laid plans of mice and men. What's the rest of that? Because I don't understand. Excuse me. First of all, I don't understand what's the whole thing with what's a plan of mice at all. So, I mean, I know that, I'm sorry, I know that sounds stupid, but it's one of those things that's always bugged me. What is a plan of a mouse? So Legion says that they're equal in the eyes of God. Is that what it is? Is that what that saying is? I mean, that makes sense, actually, which, you know, kind of on topic with the live stream, but anyway, so the full quote is, the best laid schemes of mice and men, gang aft a glee. That's great. That now you just hurt my brain. I have no idea what gang aft a glee means. So thank you, CD, for hurting my brain. So here's what I was planning on doing, and then I'll get into what I'm actually doing now that we got a couple of people here. The original plan was I was going to go, obviously I'm doing the church live stream. That's unaltered by any of this. After the church live stream, I'm going to take a little bit of a nap. Then because I need to get as much rest as I can. Then I'm going to start a live stream, probably sometime whenever I get up from the nap, but probably between noon and 2, I'll get started. And I was planning on I wanted to try and push it I wanted to try to push it for 48 hours. Now, my original thing was I wanted to do a friendly competition with Deej, because Deej was going to do a 48-hour live stream, and my original plan was to, whatever Deej did, I wanted to do a little bit better. Now, I understand that Deej, he felt like the live stream just wasn't going the way he wanted it to, so he cut it early, and... you know, hey, it's his channel. He can do what he wants, and you know, I totally respect that, and I totally understand that. But I was still thinking, okay, well, I'm still going to push it as far as I can, because the main purpose of my live stream was as a fundraiser to try to raise money to honestly pay some of the medical bills that have been stacking up, because they are stacking up. And to try and raise said medical bills, they drop stuff on the floor, I have these ridiculous cheese balls. These are 2.2 million on the Scoville chart, if you know the Scoville chart, which means they're basically seasoned with Carolina Reaper, which is the hottest pepper on the planet. I think they're still considered the hottest. And then I also have a chocolate bar called Satan's Pleasure here, which is also which is 13 million Scoville, and it's a little out of reach right now. But I also have a little nitro, which is a gummy bear, which is 8 million Scoville. So all this crazy hot stuff that I'm going to be eating. And believe me, I have a freezer stocked with ice cream for the cool down stuff, all that. And so basically for a $20 super chat or donation, I'll eat one of the cheese balls. For a $40, I'll eat a square of the chocolate. And at the end of the live stream, I'm going to do the gummy bear. Because the Fed doc already donated enough money to cover the gummy bear. And that's the plan. Was to go as close to 48 hours as I could possibly do, and then culminate it with the gummy bear. And I have a few guests lined up, and I will tell you, a lot of you guys that are like, wow, Anti-Trekker's just trying to get my money, and I'm not giving Anti-Trekker my money because, he's just a greedy bastard. Well, first of all, yes, I'm a greedy bastard, but I do need your money because I'm trying to pay the mortgage, and the doctor's bills have sucked away all our money. However, I do want to try to make it worth your while for me to get your money. So I've lined up a couple of guests that we're going to have some interesting conversations. In fact, one of them's in the chat right now. Dr. Alex is going to come on. I think we're going to talk about, Dr. Alex, I admit that's not going to be the most, the exciting conversation. Because even though I love Dr. Alex and we have some really interesting conversations about like physics and stuff like that, it's not like, ooh, really exciting. However, here's where the fun's going to happen. This evening, I believe he said probably around 6 or 7, and he's going to hang on to the show as long as he can. Lore Reloaded is going to come onto the live stream. Originally he was going to sit in Mrs. Antrecker's chair right here, but he's going to actually stream from his house so he doesn't have to leave his kids. But so you might notice the seal on this bag has actually been broken because I poured out a healthy portion of these cheese balls into a Ziploc bag because he is going to be also accepting donations for the live stream, and he will be eating these things too. So for $20, you can get me to eat one, or you can get him to eat one, or for $40, we'll both eat one. So yes, that will be a thing tonight. And so, and he also has, I think, 8 squares of the chocolate, and so, which is 13 million Scoville. I cannot wait to see, Lore Reloaded attempt that. And then on any of them, we have this little product here called Insanity Salt, which I don't know what it registers on Scoville, but holy crap, it's like seasoned salt with Carolina Reaper in it. It's crazy salt. On one of my 8 square, little chocolate squares, 8 squares of chocolate. But I just did that and then tapped that and tasted the salt, and it burned my tongue for like 20 minutes. It's crazy. So this Carolina Reaper salt. So for $10 extra on any of the super chats, we got to take a pinch of salt and put it on whatever we're having. So that's the plan for tonight. You don't want to miss that because, come on, the joy of seeing Lore Reloaded eating a 2.2 million Scoville cheese ball. You're not going to want to miss that. And PJ, thank you so much for the $5 super chat in. And let me see, did it work? Did it work? Come on. Where's I didn't hear it. I'm trying to see. I've been trying to fix the. Let me go back here. It didn't register yet. Hold on. I'm waiting to see if. I wonder if I need to have StreamYard's dashboard up and running. Thank you for super chatting, PJ, but sorry, I'm also testing stuff, and so bear with me here. Let me go to StreamYard or Streamlabs, is it? Dashboard Streamlabs. And see recent events. There are no recent events. Why is it not showing? There's the. Let me try. Why am I not hearing anything? Huh. I see the alert box. I'm still trying to fix why the alert box isn't entirely working. Anyway, but thank you for your super chat. I'm still trying to fix things around here, and now let me get back to. Oh, geez, I'm just like completely screwing everything up now. There we go. Says you really should interview Tink from Secret Hideout. They disapprove. I'm really torn on that, PJ, and I'm sorry. I know we've been trying to connect, and I've just been like back and forth on this. I'm really torn on this, Orville, and I want you to and try to understand where I'm coming from. I get it that now, for those of you that don't know, Tink is short for Tinkerbell. I guess that's just her handle that she goes by, and she is one of the creatives from Secret Hideout. So to kind of. And so, just so you know, I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing. That is actually correct because I do know something about what happened. She created she created a series Bible for the Section 31 show. And then they asked her to create a second series Bible for the Section 31 Bible, for the Section 31 show. She did so, and then they used some of the work from the Section 31 Bible, but they never paid her for her work. And so basically they used her stuff, but she never got paid for it, which is wrong. I'm not going to deny that. Obviously, I think that's wrong. I think she's got a lawsuit on her hands, and I think she should move forward with it. However, all that being said, I would have and this is where I have a difficult time with this, PJ, and where I'm really torn on this. I could not interview her without really going at her, asking her why the hell she wanted to change Star Trek so fundamentally. I heard some of what she says, and she thinks what she created was beautiful. And that Star Trek Discovery was wonderful, and that the artistic stuff that she did was absolutely great. And I think it's an abomination. And so I don't want, while I do agree that what happened to her was wrong, I would be morally obligated to question her as to why she thinks we needed to turn the Klingons into monsters. Why did she think that we needed to turn the sets of the bridge into cathedrals? Why did she think we needed to change all the stuff that she thought that we needed to change? And because I know that she had a hand in that. And so, you see where I'm torn. And maybe you can help me with that, PJ. Maybe you can help me with that. And Alien Xenomorph, thank you so much for $4.99, and sorry for falling a little behind because I did have to address that. PJ, I genuinely want your help on that. So why are the Friday Night Tights people calling you the salty Trekker? They have memes of you, and it's wrong. They're punching down. I don't know. You know what? I ignore them. Here's the thing. As far Friday Night Tights, for those of you that don't know, that's just Gary Nerdrotic's Friday night show. And so I'll say this: I don't generally talk about Gary directly. I considered Gary a good friend for a long time. When Gary's channel was smaller than mine, I offered him support. I thought he was great. Did the same for Doomcock when his channel was smaller than mine. Now that his channel is big, he's got too big for his britches, and he thinks that he is like, I don't know, God or something. Look, here's the thing, Alien Xenomorph. He got his followers, and many in the fandom menace got really, really pissed off at me because I had the nerve to say that Captain Marvel was not the worst movie ever made. Now, look, I didn't say Captain Marvel was a great film. I just simply, when I reviewed it, I gave it a score of 6 out of 10. Now, keep in mind, I know different people use numbers different ways. When I give a movie a score, a 5 out of 10 for me means that if the options are watch paint dry or watch this movie, it's a straight up coin toss. That's a 5 out of 10. So it does. That's 5 out of 10 is this movie is the equivalent of just staring at nothing. 6 out of 10 means it's one step up from watching paint dry. So that's where I put Captain Marvel. It was not that bad. Now, granted, I did say that Captain Marvel herself, the character, was the weakest part of the film, but that I actually enjoyed Samuel L. Jackson in the film. I can't remember the actor's name, but Coulson, and there's actually a few things I really did like about the movie that elevated it beyond the 5 out of 10 score. I actually thought what they did with the Skrulls was interesting, and this is coming from someone who is I have right here the omnibus Fantastic Four 1 and 2. So this is the first 50 issues of Fantastic Four in hardbound edition. I actually have in my safe room on the other side of the house every single issue of Fantastic Four from number 25 to the end of the run because I love Fantastic Four that much. I know Gary used to have a comic book shop. I get that. I love Fantastic Four. I'm not a big comic book nerd. Like, I couldn't tell you who wrote what run and all that about every issue of every comic book. I can tell you I love Fantastic Four, and the Skrulls were a big part of Fantastic Four. And what they did with the Skrulls and Captain Marvel was different than what I was used to from the Skrulls. I was all set for the Skrulls to be the bad guys, and when they flipped that whole thing on its head, I was like, oh, what a cool idea. I didn't have a problem with that, right? And so it elevated the film. Didn't make it great, but it made it watchable. Made it a 6 out of 10. At that point, I got death threats. I got hate mail. All of a sudden, Doomcock and Gary disowned me. They wouldn't let me come on their live streams anymore. I was persona non grata as far as the Fandom Menace was concerned. So I cut off my support to those channels. I am no longer a patron of those channels. And to the Fandom Menace, I say, good luck, guys. Wish you nothing but the best. But hey, you know what? Make all the memes you want. I don't care. And you want to call me Salty Trekker? No problem. Here's the salt. Right here. See, it's called Insanity Salt. It's made with Carolina Reaper. Right here. Call me Salty Trekker all day long. Sorry. That's me being salty. There you go. Sorry, aliens. Man, I should not be flipping people off during the church live stream. I apologize. Xenomorph, you got me going. You triggered me. But honestly, I don't care. I mean, look, if Phantom Menace people want to make memes of me, go right ahead. Call me a dork. Call me an idiot. All that does is prove my point. You want to hate me because I said something that's slightly different than what your ideology says? All you're doing is becoming exactly what the SJWs accuse you of being, an intolerant bunch of idiots. That's what you're doing. You are becoming intolerant bigots. If you're going to excommunicate anyone that slightly disagrees with you, it's just like, you know, you're right, Sci-Fi Nation. I know that wasn't very churchy of me, but I'm just being honest about it. You can't, you know what? And that's the thing. I'm just being real. Just being real. If you want to hate on me because Yeah, exactly. Death threats over a freaking movie review. What is wrong with people? What is seriously wrong? I mean, granted, I did not take any of the death threats seriously. Don't, it's not like I'm sitting there on the internet crying about it. But honestly, at that point, I genuinely realized that the fandom menace is honestly just the SJWs with a different coat of paint on it. And I still don't understand why nothing is popping up on the alert box for those super chats. That is because I swear, I wonder if doesn't make sense. Because the feed shows the alien xenomorph super chatted. And like if I resend the alert, no. I wonder if I just need to.
Hi diddly ho,
there
hi
we go.
Diddly ho, hi diddly ho, hi diddly ho,
Dreamer at Theo $1. I think in the end the reason we
See,
saw
that's
the
from
TVA
like 3
changed
days
is
ago.
because someone from some other universe went to our past and changed things. We can't change our own history. We can only change other realities. But that means others can change our reality too.
So the Streamlabs tip works, I think. We'll try it later. I'll try resetting everything and see if that helps. Anyway, I am sorry. I didn't mean to get all salty there. But I am the salty trekker, apparently. Orville Nation says you can ask her the tough, hard questions. She's a tough cookie. Plus, she doesn't agree with everything they did. Okay, I understand that, Orville. But let me ask you this: what's all the? And this is the other thing, because she seemed to keep going on during her talk with you guys. She seemed to keep going on these tangents about her advocacy for Native Americans. And don't get me wrong, I don't have a problem with her advocacy of Native Americans, but will she get mad at me if I force her to stay on topic? Because don't get me wrong, I don't have a problem with her advocacy of Native Americans, but that won't be if that's not the topic of the discussion, every time she does that, I'm going to bring her right back on topic. So I just wanted to know about that too, PJ. And again, I apologize. I know we've been having trouble connecting. It's been, and it has been a crazy week. Oh, I still haven't even finished talking about what my schedule's going to be. I'll get to that in just a minute. Aberjam says, missed a notification. Well, I'm glad you made it, Aberjam. Sci-Fi says that it wasn't very churchy. I know. Someone said Phantom Menace. There's no one pressing that button. I know. I'm sorry. Phantom Menace has become culture codus. Unfortunately, that's true. Steve Rogers says classic. Sci-Fi says, wouldn't cry over there are laws but there are laws over super crap like that. I know. Aberjam says, no one thinks you'd cry over it, Antrigger. You have a soul. You'd have to have a soul for that. Thanks, I think. Steve says, that's why I stick with the prequels and run, Joe, run. I'm glad to self-identify as a proud pre-TW prequel trilogy warrior. Wow. All right, so let me so back to what I was trying to say earlier. And PJ, we will try to get together. By the way, PJ, I was going to ask you if you're free later today, or even like tomorrow morning. I don't know what your schedule's like. You are one of those people to be welcome to come on and talk for a while during my marathon live stream. I appreciate what you're saying there too, PJ. So if I can keep her on topic, then yeah, I'll talk to her. We'll make it happen. So we'll just have to schedule a date. Let me see, because right now, and when I explain what's going on over the next 48 hours, you'll understand. All this stuff came up in just the last couple of days, which is part of the reason I've had trouble talking to you, because I've been talking to my doctors and stuff like that. So let's absolutely schedule a date, but I need to know what's going on with my doctor first, because that takes priority. So speaking of which, so here's what my original best laid plan of Mice and Men was so tomorrow, or today, this afternoon I was going to start streaming. I was going to try to push it for 48 hours, which would take me to like Tuesday. And then, God willing, and as you probably gathered from my conversation with PJ, we were talking about maybe doing an interview with this Tinkerbell lady and about what's going on with Secret Hideout, and which sounds interesting, to be honest with you, and not a big panel discussion. I wanted it to be just her and me talking, hashing it out. And that's why I wanted to make sure, and I wanted to talk to PJ about it, even though it's a little more public than I intended our conversation to be. But I wanted to make sure that, A, you know what, if I'm going to say, look, I'm going to ask her, why the heck the Klingorks? You know, why are we turning the hero ship of Star Trek into a pizza cutter? If she's okay with those kind of questions, then I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go for the jugular on that. I'm also gonna say what they did to you is wrong, and people support her because we need to support this lady, and she needs to sue the crap out of Secret Hideout. I absolutely believe that, but I also want to know: are you insane to make the Klingons into monsters? So I do want to get both sides of that out there. Anyway, and Tink, if you're watching this, I'm just being fair, lady. I'm sure you are a wonderful person. It's nothing personal. But, man, the Klingorks piss me off every time I see them. And I don't know how much you had to do directly with the Klingorks, but I do know that you had some creative input to what we ended up seeing on Star Trek Discovery. And I want to ask you your input on that. And I'm going to give you a chance to say whether you thought it was a good idea or a bad idea. And if you said, well, I think it was a good idea, I'm going to say, are you insane? Do you understand why the fans went into revolt over this? And why granted, I may not be a part of the Fandom Menace, but I certainly understand why the Fandom Menace rose against this stuff. I think that they're but and Orville, I understand she may not be responsible for the Klingorks, but don't defend her. She can defend herself. You said she's a big girl. I'll let her defend herself. Whatever she's responsible for, I'm going to let her defend herself for. And I'll ask her, okay, you tell me, what part of Discovery are you responsible for? And then A, you should have been paid for it. And B, what the hell were you thinking? That's kind of where I'm going to go with it. If it's something that was prominent in Discovery, A, you should have been paid for it, and B, what the hell were you thinking? Unless it's something that was good. Like, I'll give you an example. If she was responsible for the design of the new Enterprise, I doubt she was, but if she was responsible for the design of the new Enterprise, I would say, yes, you should have been paid for it, and good job! Right? Because I actually like the new Enterprise. As far as if you're going to redesign something, the Enterprise looked pretty good. However, if she was responsible for those stupid collars on everybody's shirts, And Aberjam, she designed a couple of series Bibles, and a lot of her input was used on the show, but she was never paid. So, yeah, and so she's going to come on, and we're going to talk about it probably for several hours. So, depending on if she's got the cojones to go head-to-head with the salty Trekker. And apparently, and this is the stupid thing, and I know, Orville, I know you've been an advocate for her, and I love that about you, PJ, is that you get in touch with these people, and then you try to connect them to other channels and stuff. And the fact that you've tried to get her over to Doomcock and Nerdrotic and those guys, and they've been and Mead and stuff, and they've been like, oh no, thank you. And it's like, what is your problem? You guys talk about how much you want to make a difference, but you'd rather sit there and shop rumors that turn out to be false and rumors that turn out to be stupid traps on Reddit but you won't talk to someone who actually worked in the production. You sit there and talk about all the chaos in the production houses, but you won't talk to someone who was there, who you know for a fact was there. Why not? Who, by the way, is a disgruntled employee. If anybody is going to tell you about the chaos behind the scenes, it's going to be her. Why not put her on? Doomcock, what is your problem? She is the perfect person to come on. She should be your Harvey Cthulhu. She should be a regular on your show. But no. Sorry. Lord M says, idea for a new Star Trek reality show, just like the real world. Lock Alex Kurtzman in a house with Rick Burnham and some pissed off Star Trek fans. That show would last one episode as everybody just killed Kurtzman. She was responsible for getting NASA consultants on planetary features. That's actually kind of cool. I'll give her credit there. That will echo their chamber and make money. Actually, I think it would make the money. I think that if Doomcock got an actual person who worked for Secret Hideout on his show, he would make a ton. Average Ab says it's getting harder to resist the urge to ironically call you Salty Trekker. You can call me, look, I got the salt. And here's the funny thing. I don't know if you can read. I'm going to buy a shaker of this stuff from this company because they're a really good company. But it's actually, I know you can't really read it. It's called Insanity Salt. I am going to buy a shaker of it. You know what? Honestly, I wish I could change my name. Unfortunately, Google won't let me because it's a brand account, and so you can't change Anti-Trekker. It won't let me. But I would change it to Salty Trekker right now if I could. If that's what the Fandom Menace wants to call me, dang it. Look, I got a salty beard. Fine. I'm the Salty Trekker. You call me the Salty Trekker every day. It doesn't bother me. Hey, Fandom Menace, I'm the Salty Trekker. I don't care. And so, and I'm going to buy a big old thing of Insanity Salt just for when, and you know what, when I get really pissed off, I'll have some Insanity Salt because it'll burn my tongue, and that'll be my punishment for getting too salty. Let's see. Orville, FYI, she's a friend of mine. I knew what was going on with her for over a year. Wow, I did not know that, PJ. Indy throws out a $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Indy Tiger. I truly appreciate it. By the way, I hate to ask this, but if somebody would, can somebody try the Streamlab link and see? Just put in like a $1 donation. I just want to see if the alert goes off for that, or if that's still broken, because something's not working. Bird says, what? 30 minutes already? Yeah, apparently the alerts ain't working. I don't know what's going on there. And let's see, I want to make sure. Yeah, there has not been any Streamlabs donations, just making sure. Because that's weird. I don't know. I swear I've been working on the donations for the last couple of hours. It should have worked, but it didn't. And anyway, so Indy just posted your first ever video on YouTube. It's a lightning storm recorded from your living. Oh, very cool, Indy. You know, I love a good lightning storm. So I will definitely check that out. And in fact, let me see if I can find your channel. I don't know if I'm subscribed to you or not. Indy Tiger. Well, that brings up a National Geographic documentary when I search for Indy Tiger. I remember the old days when you could just click on someone's name and it would. Aha, that worked. That actually worked.
Birdo Pre-5 $1. You're ugly.
Well, thanks, Bird. Well, at least I know that that works, so that's a good thing. Even if not quite what I wanted, you hurt my feelings. that hurt more than all the death threats. Oh, there we go. Lightning storm in the distance. Okay, I'm subscribed now, Andy. 5-minute video.
Hi diddly ho,
There
hi
you go.
diddly ho, hi
And
diddly ho,
let me
hi
come back
diddly
here.
ho,
And Bird of Prey with another $1.
Birdo Pre 5 $1. And you probably smell bad too.
Wow. Wow. Thanks, Bird. Thanks. Salty Trekker. That's my name. Salty Trekker. I'm and jeez. Average says, I think insanity salt by just might make you sane again. It might. Random Menace, thank you so much.
Hi diddly ho, hi diddly ho, hi diddly ho, hi diddly ho.
This is okay. All right. Lore Appreciation Society.
Lore _appreciation _society $1. You know what video we want. DUIT.
Well, you know what? I will tell you guys. So finally, Ashurion, the company from hell, has finally fixed my main computer. And so it is officially, it says that it is on its way back to me. So once it gets back to me, then I got to start rebuilding all the super chats. And hopefully I'll be able to get back to something like normal. But Yosef, the man from the future, throws a couple of euros in and says, Salty Trekker, use it for the Salty Shaker. You know what I'm doing right this very second? Let me look up Blum Loco. I tell you, I am going to order some. I want to see how much is their insanity salt, because if I can, what I may do, I probably can't get any right now, but I think, let's see, what do they have? They have jalapeno salt, chili lime salt, habanero salt, cherrywood salt, oakwood salt, smoked chipotle salt, applewood smoked salt, insanity sea salt, and sriracha infused. Ooh, sriracha salt. They have a lot of salts, actually. Let's see. They have like yeah, man, they have a pretty but so their insanity salt, I believe, is just like is that's salt that has, I think, if I remember correctly, the insanity salt has let's see, it's sea salt, and it says super hot pepper mix, but I'm not sure what they consider super hot peppers. And let's see. So I'm gonna be the Salty Trekker from now on. You guys can call me Salty all day long. Indy says thank you. Bird of Prey says comply to Orville Nation. Leave it to PooTube to take out features that people actually liked. I know, it makes no sense. You can't click on people's names anymore. You can't change your freaking name if you're a brand channel. It's stupid. How about putting Indy's channel in the chat? Oh, yeah, good idea. I will do that right now. Let me go to Indy Tiger's channel, and I'll copy that, and then go to here and paste. Bam. There you go. Everybody go subscribe to Indy Tiger. Only got 6 subscribers. There's 23 people watching. We should be able to at least double that. If you change your name, you'd have to use the Salt Vampire as your... Oh, man. Oh, you know what would be so awesome? I don't want to make him do it, but I would... man, oh, man. It would be so freaking awesome, but I would not want to make him do the work. Would be to change the avatar over here so that I'm sitting there and have like the Salt Vampire behind me, like, you know. I think that would be hilarious. So space. The real reason I think Doomcock and Gary don't want her on is because she'll most likely be attacked by her fan base. Remember what happened when you want to? Let's see. Is she would most likely be attacked by her fan base. Remember what happened when you went on to defend The Last Jedi? Well, The thing is, though, Valor, is in fairness, I think that, honestly, I don't think so, because she would be going on attacking Secret Hideout, and I think that they don't, I think that they have a common foe there. And I think that if Gary and Doomcock, don't get me wrong, I may be a little salty towards them, but they're not dummies, and so they could sit there and tell her, and I'm sure she can figure it out. Hey, don't try to defend Star Trek Discovery on the show. Instead, let's just talk about how horrible Secret Hideout is, and guess what? They'll all be singing Kumbaya together. And let's see. I'd love to hear the Phantom Menace take on Timothy Dalton, the best James Bond. I'm not sure why. Orville Nation, hashtag Salty Trekker. Sat Salt Anti-Trekker is... let's see. I bet Doomcock's fan base... I get what you're saying. I think that Doomcock's fan base would attack her if she tried to defend Discovery. That's all I'm saying. Let's see. And Joe, I understand completely what you were saying there in Skype, but I still think that there's potential there. And besides that, everybody from Hollywood, you could say that about. Last Jedi is the best of the Disney Star Wars sequels in my book, no joke. At least it's original to a degree. Still not into it. I'll tell you, Steve. And Last Jedi, I actually thought was okay. I think that Last Jedi, people say that the Palpatine thing felt like a desperation move, to which my answer is, well, of course it was. I mean, what kind of an idiot statement is that? I'm sorry, but when people say things like that, it's like, yeah, okay, you're handed the franchise. Rian Johnson just made The Last Jedi. Here you go, fix it. It's a desperation move. You're handed the biggest busted franchise in history. Good luck. And I think that the Palpatine move was the best idea he could come up with. I don't think it was a bad idea. I think that it could have... I think that the biggest problem with the film was it didn't need the holocron chase. They could have just gotten rid of that and kind of streamlined it a bit, made the story a little more about Palpatine. Because I'll admit, I think Palpatine himself was at his creepiest. Oh, you said The Last Jedi was... I'm sorry, Steve. I disagree with you on that. I think Last Jedi was the worst. I thought you meant The Rise of Skywalker. Man, we're disagreeing there. Professor Brain Strikes, you are thinking of The Rise of Skywalker, not Last Jedi? Yes, I am. Last Jedi was the most original. Yes. It was the most original in that, hey, let's take a dump on the franchise. But, I honestly... here's the problem with The Last Jedi. Was it original in some ways? Yes. We've never had anybody in Star Wars run out of gas before. I guess you could say that's original. We've never had a Star Wars movie where we just killed off the main villain without even explaining who the heck he was. So, original, sure. I mean, if the concept was to subvert expectations just by... The problem is, I'm okay with subverting expectations by doing things unexpectedly. I'm not okay with doing it just for the sake of doing it. And that was the problem. In The Last Jedi, they just did things just to do them. They didn't do them with purpose or organically. And I think, and honestly, even some of the crazy choices they made, I would have been okay with if it wasn't for the fact that they ruined characters to do it. Like the fact that they made Poe and Finn, they sidelined those two characters and they in order to elevate characters that we didn't need, like Haldo and now I forget her name. Oh gosh, she was so annoying to me that I forget her name. Kelly Marie Tran was the actress, but I can't remember the character's name. But you know who I'm talking about. I don't want to disrespect her, but you know, her sister was more interesting, and her sister was in like 2 minutes of screen time. Anyway. Valor says, Phantom Menace are vile, toxic people. I wouldn't say that about all of them, but some of them are. We've seen them react to honest opinions. They really went after you with for the defense of Rise of Skywalker. That's true. I'm not going to have this argument again, but Palpatine was absolutely not the best option available. I'm not saying he was the best option available. I'm saying I think that he was a good option. I'd like to see Lore Reloaded debate Gary on Star Trek. Well, probably never going to happen. Just saying. And the chat jumped all over the place. But Orville Nation, thank you so much. Because FYI, Gary and FYI, Gary and Jumcock have not said no in interviewing. They have expressed interest. Oh, okay. They want to vet her. Gary's also moving now. I'm sorry, I misunderstood then. I was told that they'd said no. Lord said, as far as seeing Gary debate Lore, I doubt that would happen because Lore has expressed his disdain for the Phantom Menace, and so he would probably not be welcome. The Phantom Menace does tend to say, like, I am persona non grata in the Phantom Menace because I've now expressed that I do not care for the way that they do things. So I fully understand that I will never... And I've actually gotten messages on the download from several members of the Phantom Menace, a couple prominent ones, that said, yeah, I'd love to have you on, but you're not welcome anymore, so I can't have you on. And that's fine. That's the way they do things. They are, you know, they say they're not organized, but they're organized. They say they don't have rules, but they have rules. Whatever. I don't care. They're going to sit there and excommunicate people and decide who's welcome and who's not welcome, and you know, whatever. I'm not playing that game. They refused to hear JJ apologize to the fan base through Luke. Of course they did. They don't want to hear that. What they want to hear is Doomcock was right. That's what they want to hear. Who will win in a fight between the leader of the Dominion from Star Trek Deep Space Nine versus Emperor Palpatine from Star Wars? The leader of the Dominion, assume you're talking about one of the female changeling, versus Palpatine, like one-on-one? Like no weapons, just straight up fight? That's actually interesting because physically... one of the changelings has a distinct advantage, but the Emperor does have, of course, the usage of the Force. And assuming the Force is a factor, I would have to, and I would assume that the changelings would be vulnerable to Force lightning, so I would give it to Palpatine. Rose Tico, thank you, Bird. Yeah, Rose Tico was a completely unnecessary character, and so they sidelined Finn and Poe to elevate Rose and Haldo. They also, you know, like they killed off, you know, characters like Admiral Akbar. When, I mean, honestly, why wasn't it Admiral Akbar who sacrificed himself piloting the cruiser into the Star Destroyers? You know, why? Of all, if you're going to do any kind of crazy maneuver like that, why wouldn't it be Admiral Akbar? And Random Menace says the Haldo is brave and the Force is female. Aberjam says Palpatine wasn't even a good option. He just made a bigger mess of the whole thing. I disagree, Aberjam, but we'll just agree to disagree on that. Don't worry, you haven't missed anything. It still seems to be talking about the same thing they were a year ago. Oh, I know. Kathleen Kennedy's about to be fired. Everything is woke when they don't know what woke even means. Do I still have that ready? Nope, that's not on this? Okay. darn it. I need to get that set up for here. Now it says, Doomcock was forced to eat a bit of crow due to script notes from The Rise of Skywalker he read and had to praise JJ, which made it sound like he threw up a little on his mask. I don't know anything about that. Lord says, I watched every sequel Star Wars movie and how I would written and directed I was made. Rey, who was the granddaughter of Emperor Palpatine, the Empress of the New Empire. Well, I think Rey should have turned evil. If Rey had gone to the dark side, in that, honestly, that's where I think that JJ, and I don't know if maybe Kathleen Kennedy said, no, you can't do that, or if it was just JJ hadn't thought of it. No idea. We don't know the behind the scenes. But I think it would have been far better if Rey had simply gone to the dark side, and then the final fight was Rey versus Kylo, with Kylo being the hero, because that would have set up some tension. The problem is that with Rey winning all the time, there was never any tension, because Rey never lost a fight. And that's something that I think writers don't understand, is that to have a good hero, to have a hero overcome, you have to see the hero lose. And it's the same problem, like, I know a lot of people think it's a great movie, but I disagree wholeheartedly. If you watch, what's it called? Attila Battle Angel? I'm sure Alita Battle Angel. Big problem with that is that even when she loses the fight, she wins the fight. I mean, she's too good at what she does. And so if you have a main character who always wins, who always finds a way, who always manages to pull her way out of a scrap, who never needs help, then when the final fight comes around, there's no tension. You know she's going to win. And that's how it was with Star Wars. Valor says, Lore would also completely destroy Gary. He knows far less about Trek than Doomcock. I'm not sure what you're saying there. You said Lore would destroy Gary as he knows far less about Trek than Doomcock. You're saying Lore would... Oh, you're saying he would destroy Gary because Gary knows less about Trek than Doomcock. Gotcha. Yeah, but that's... Yeah. The Last Jedi is terrible Star Wars. Well, I think that the sequel trilogy is flawed throughout. But, I mean, honestly, Star Wars is it's inconsistent throughout. But then again, it's just fun. You'll have a character named Akbar ram ship into another ship. Okay. Why not? What? Oh, because what? You're thinking because you're being stereotypical because his name is Akbar. So have you seen Akbar? Fed is in the house. Says we're still on this, are we? Kennedy and Abrams. Well, Kennedy's about to be fired. I don't know if you heard that. Steve Rogers says I'm woke. I'm totally woke. I'm on my third cup of coffee. Aberdeen says, no, you absolutely cannot agree to disagree. You're fired, unsubbed. You're persona non grata. I hate you now. Oh, I didn't know you joined the fandom menace, Aberjam. See, that's a little joke there. Lord says, Star Wars Episode 9. Man, we're just not doing church life at all today. We're just going for nerd stuff. That's okay. As long as we're having fun, because today I just want to have fun. And by the way, please, guys, please understand, even when we're fighting today, we're just having fun. Don't take it too seriously. If you take it too seriously, have some of this. Have some insanity salt. That needs to be the rule. I think that everybody from now on needs to have... Oh, man. I wonder what it would take. I'm going to talk to these guys about how much would it cost to send, my patron supporters some of this insanity salt. Oh, man, that would be awesome. Like one of these little packets of I'm having some thoughts now. I'm going to talk to that guy because he's a really nice guy, and I don't know how much he manufactures this stuff, but now that the Salty Trekker is out, I think I'm going to partner, because since I've been trying to do the 3D printing and stuff like that, but I just can't get the manufacturing going because of my health. But I can partner with someone who does the manufacturing. And so I'm going to talk to him. Let's see. Valor says, from the script notes, Ray was supposed to go dark side, but Kathleen nixed the idea. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. That would have been way better. Fed says, oh, if Kennedy were ejected and Abrams and Kurtzman were never allowed near Trek or Star Wars, anything decent would have been celebrating in a way worthy of Slanish. I don't know what Slanish is. I don't come here for fun, sir. I consider this my penance. Oh, you're a bad person. Bird says, immediately cancels all anti-Trekker support. Wow, Bird. Jerk. With your Yitzy avatar on the packets. Oh, man. I wonder if he could do that. Ooh, man. That would be... yeah. I don't know if he could. That would be a lot of work for him. But, yeah. I'll talk to him. It's smart to wave brown powder substance and then say, I have some of this. I'll have some of this later. Yeah. Hey, guys. But I am going to have some of this later, if you guys super chat. I still think the anti-fandom... think the anti-fandom menace, I think, is the answer to the fandom menace. You, Lord, Bird of Prey, Trek Yards are the key pillars of the anti-fandom menace because of how you guys use positivity. I appreciate that, Valor, but here's the problem. We can't ever... And this is the absolute truth, is that we can never call ourselves that. We can't organize that way. Because the minute we do, we adopt it. We adopt an ideology, we adopt a set of rules, and bam, we become exactly what they are. And we have to disagree with each other. We have to, have our own opinions. And that's the beauty of it. Look, you guys know, I love Captain Foley. I absolutely love Captain Foley. But you know what Captain Foley hates? This channel. Captain Foley loves me, but he hates this channel because he thinks I get way too negative. And I respect that. I wish that he liked the channel better because I'd love to hang out with him all the time. But I get it. I get too argumentative for him, and I like to fight. I love, like for me, I love arguing with people, and some people, they get really mad at me for it. Some people can't handle it. Too salty. So if you can't handle the salt, man, I tell you, I am so going to run with this. Hey, Gary, thank you. Doomcock, thank you. I'm running with it. But, yeah. Let's see. And FedDoc. So now we have the anti-Trekker us what? I can't even read that word. What the heck is that word? What? I mean, put it into Google, see what that word is. Oh, penitentious? What? You're hurting me, man. Bird says Kurogan ideology trumps it all. But it's not just about being positive. Because we get negative sometimes. We do. But that's okay. What's not okay is if we're getting negative just for being negative's sake. And that's what, unfortunately, I see in the Fandom Menace. Right? Is, at this point, the Fandom Menace, it's not about being salty. It's totally not about being salty. it's about the it's genuinely it's about offering people a genuine opinion on what's going on. It's about being honest about, hey, this is good, this is not good, right? Look, when I see, when I watch Last Jedi, that's crap. When I watch Black Widow, that's good. Is it really that hard to say? Hey, guess what? I said it. Black Widow, that's a good movie. Is it the best movie ever? No. But it's a good movie. The salt must flow. Steve says, true, so true. And so, yeah, so I am, the salt. Salt. Oh, man. The salty trekker. Thank you. So, oh, man. This is going to be a whole new chapter in the life of the anti-trekker, the salty trekker. Let's see. How much do I have to donate to watch the anti-trekker smoke an entire marijuana-laced cigar? Man, Spike, I will tell you this. If I didn't live in Tennessee, I would do it for free. If I just had the cigar, I would do it for free. Unfortunately, the politicians in Tennessee have their collective sticks up their collective butts, and they won't legalize even for medical, because I would qualify for medical at this point, but they won't legalize. I hope they do soon, because I've been in chronic pain for over a decade, and I could really use some relief. I never got around to telling you guys what's going on. So let me tell you guys my schedule. I'm so sorry. Okay, I'll read these. So guys, give me a break on the chat for a minute. I'll read what's there, and then I will tell you guys what's going on. So Average Am says, I don't know why they insist on calling you salty when everybody knows the truth. You're actually just a douche. Well, that's true. Valor says, I've been thinking about what you said about calling you those behind the Witcher series hacks. You're right. I was attacking personally, which wasn't what I meant. What I mean to. You rightfully called me out. I appreciate you saying that, Valor. And you know what? Yeah, it's not. And I wasn't trying to be a dick to you, but we got to be more respectful. That's all. And that's my whole thing. I don't have a problem with attack an idea, but I don't want to attack the person behind the idea. But that's why, like, when I mentioned to PJ earlier, if I'm going to talk to Tink, she was a creative on Discovery, I am going to attack her ideas pretty harsh. And if she takes that personal because it's her ideas, she's going to not like me very much. But even though I'm totally with her as far as how she was treated by Secret Hideout, I am going to attack her ideas. Nothing like taking an insult and making it into something positive. Haters usually hate that. They do. I like the Critical Drinker. I find it has both positive and negative. One of his best videos, he talks about something he likes. Critical Drinker, look, if you take entertainment value, and I say this about Doomcock, Gary, all of them. If you enjoy them, watch them. I am not saying boycott the Phantom Menace. I am not saying that at all. If you enjoy their videos, watch them. Please do not unsubscribe if you like them. I am not saying that at all. I'm saying I am persona non grata, and so fine. I'm done with them. But if you want to enjoy them, please do. Hail Andy Trekker, boo Tennessee. I agree. The Phantom Menace would not exist if it weren't for other fans calling you racist because you didn't like Star Trek Discovery. That killed my love for Star Trek because other idiots agreed. CD says, so, well, as church live streams, are we going to get salt life or sodium life too? I have to do something like that. Average just said, in the Bible, we are told not to get drunk, but to take a little wine for our health. Do you think we can apply that premise to pretty much any other drug? Good question. I know that there's some debate about that. Does that apply to things like marijuana? I do think it does. I do think that it applies to drugs that have medicinal benefit. I think that that's when you look at what Paul was saying to Timothy. Take a little bit of wine for your stomach ailments. I think that people that have chronic conditions that can be treated with something like marijuana, I don't think that there's a problem there. I think that there's a problem, and honestly, what the Bible says, drinking is not a sin. Drunkenness is what is described as a sin. And now there's some debate as to what drunkenness is. There are three basic camps on what drunkenness is. Camp number one, the ultra-conservative camp. Drunkenness is drinking. That's like the hardcore Southern Baptists. They think that if you take a sip of anything, you are a drunk, and therefore you should not drink. More moderate camp is kind of where I think Abraham falls, which is that if you drink enough to be intoxicated, you are drunk. That's drunkenness. And then the slightly more liberal camp is drunkenness is if you adopt basically alcoholism. If you are a person who is regularly drinking, if you are a drunk, when you think of in the old days, the town drunk, the person that is drinking as a lifestyle, that is a drunk, not a person who simply gets intoxicated on one night. So those are the three camps on what drunkenness is. Irrelevant as far as the discussion is is marijuana. Does that fall under that same guideline? I think it does. I think that it would fall under the like if you're taking marijuana because of chronic pain, then I don't think it really falls under recreational as much as a medicine. Viv called me a hypocrite because I'm against the Phantom Menace because of them personally attacking JJ, KK, etc. Yet I did it as well. Well, you see, and that's why we got to be careful. We don't want to be hypocrites. When did entertainment become a zero-sum game? Good question. Spike says, I dedicate this bong hit to the anti-tricker. I hate you, Spike. Anti-tricker, Star Trek Discovery sucks, and other Kurtzman era Trek sucks. Berman Trek was the best Trek. I could tell Alex Kurtzman can go kill himself for I don't say that because I don't think I don't blame Alex Kurtzman personally. I don't hate him personally. I don't know him personally. However, I will say that, and I don't think Berman Trek is the best Trek. I think that Fontana Trek and Kuhn Trek, I think I would have to say is the best Trek. And if you don't know what Kuhn Trek is, look it up. Doesn't that line of Abraham refer to the Bible simply just encourage moderation in all things? Well, it kind of does, but basically what happened is Timothy, and where Timothy, who was Paul's protege in the Bible, refrained from drinking at all, and Paul told Timothy not to have a stick up his butt because Timothy had a stomach issue that wine would help. We don't know exactly what the stomach issue was, but Paul advised him in one of his letters to drink a little bit of wine to help settle his stomach. And I think what Paul wrote in several passages that it is perfectly okay to indulge in things as long as you're not causing other people to stumble. That's the main thing. So, for example, there are Christians that will not eat pork because in the Old Testament it says don't eat pork, right? Even though Christ said it's not what you eat that makes you unclean. And so if you have a person with you that says, oh, I will not eat pork because I want to be pure, that's what Paul would call a weak Christian. If they're sitting at a table with you, guess what you don't do? You don't eat pork. Right? So you don't do anything that would cause your brother problems. However, it's perfectly okay for you to eat some pork when he's not there. All right, so back to what I was originally trying to say like an hour ago or something. I don't remember. Yeah, about an hour ago. So my original plan was I was going to do the church live stream for an hour or so, and then after the church live stream, I was going to try to take a nap. Then I was going to get up and do the marathon stream for as close to 48 hours as I could. So let's say I started Sunday at about 1 or 2 in the afternoon. I tried to push it all the way until like Tuesday at 1 or 2 in the afternoon. After that, I would arrange with PJ Orville Nation to do the interview with Tink and do movie night with Matthew on Friday, and that would be my week. So, that was my whole plan. Then, and shut up, Bert. Then my doctor called, and my doctor said, guess what? You're coming in on Monday for another MRI. We need to scan your brain. Do it. And so I need to stop the live stream sometime, from the looks of it, late Monday morning. In order, excuse me, to go to the doctor's. I actually have to first pick up a prescription, and I can't live stream the MRI. You know you can't bring electronic devices into an MRI, Bird. Jeez. Anyway, so I have to go to the pick up a prescription, and then then do the MRI, and then I'll come back. And so basically, what I'll be doing is on Monday, I will stop the live stream Monday morning, go do the MRI, and then Monday afternoon, I will then pick up the live stream again, and then continue on. And so that's the current iteration of the plan. Lord says, when did Paul said to Timothy it's okay to take alcohol for stomach pain? Biblically, it's okay for people to take cocaine. Lord, only if you could find a reason that cocaine is medically appropriate, and also you would have to say that you're not taking cocaine for personal enjoyment. And yeah, as Sci-Fi Nation, I know Bert's trying to, thinks he's pulling a fast one, but yeah, I know that MRIs would destroy my phone. I'm not that stupid. But I am definitely going to be the brain strain can't possibly take very long. That took me a second. That was just mean. That was really mean. Man. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to be talking to this guy, since I am now the salty trekker. And I'm going to now... I was planning on, when I was going to wrap up the stream here in a few minutes, and as soon as I wrapped up the stream, my plan was to go right to bed and try to take a nap. But now I need to adjust my avatar a little bit so it says Salty Trekker on it, thanks to you guys. And Aberjeff says the vast majority of high-level painkillers are derivatives of cocaine. Well, if that's true, then awesome. You're taking cocaine, like is oxycodone cocaine? I have some right here. Oh, what's that? Hey, Bird of Prey.
Birdio Pre $5 The joke was you have a small brain.
Yeah, I got it. Thanks, Bird. I did get it. Fortunately, the $1 super chats will not get me to eat one of these. And there may or may not be a special audio announcement if somebody donates enough for me to take one of these. I also will have when I still don't understand why the super chats didn't pop up. That's a weird thing. I got to try to figure that out. Let's see. Well, I'll take that advice. I'll be heading out to bed myself. Going to be working tomorrow, so hopefully I won't too much of your suffer. I mean, live stream. Andy Jerry, be well. Well, Fed, tomorrow night when you get home, I'll be streaming. So stop by and say hi. Because yeah, I do want to see you, my friend. Abden says clearly never heard of morphine. Morphine doesn't do crap for me. I've tried, like when I went to the hospital for my gallbladder, they gave me morphine. I'm like, could you please give me something that works? And then I can't remember, it's like Dilaudid or something. They give me that. That actually works for me. Wait, sorry, it sounds like Matthew's saying ho. Well, yeah, Matthew's, no, Stanley, it's not that they don't give me enough morphine. There's a small percentage of people that morphine does not affect. Like, I'm basically immune to whatever the chemical is in morphine. You could shoot me up with morphine and I'm just like, oh, thanks. So can you give me a painkiller now? It doesn't do anything. And that just kind of sucks for me. I discovered it when I had my appendicitis. I was in the hospital and they, I'm sitting there screaming in pain. If you've never had appendicitis, it really, really hurts. And so I'm sitting there and on the hospital bed just screaming, and the doctors come up and they have the IV in me and stuff, and they start putting in a morphine, and and they're like, well, how much relief did you get? I'm like, none. And they're like, how about now? I'm like, none. How about now? None. And they're like, I can't give you any more. And the doctor comes in and they're like, what's going on? Well, I've given this much morphine. They're like, well, then don't give him morphine. Morphine doesn't work on this guy. And so then that's when I learned Dilaudid is what I need to take. So yeah, for some people, morphine just don't work. And Bird, thank you so much, puts $2 in and says the chemical in morphine is morphine. Is it? I don't know. I'm not a chemist. And Aberjam says, when I had appendicitis, my doctor gave me enough morphine to floor rhino. His words barely touched the pain. Yeah. Jason says, good morning. Yes, Dilaudid is powerful. Had it last year when kidney stone. Didn't like how it made me feel, but loved the relief. Yeah. It's the only thing that worked for me. With the gallbladder. So, and the problem is that it wore off very quickly. When I have it's synthetic opium. I didn't know that. Valor said, so that's what opium feels like? Really? That's what all the hubbub is about? Doesn't seem like all that great. Well, my brain biopsy, I was on morphine for a few hours. I was throwing up until I passed out from the pain as well. Sounds like fun, Valor. Vicodin did not relieve the pain, but made me feel like I didn't care about it. Vicodin, I didn't really care much about. Oxycodone does a little bit, but yeah. Painkillers in general, honestly, as far as painkillers that you can take at home, I'll be completely honest. The only time I've ever been pain-free and not in a hospital in the last decade is when I was in Oregon and able to legally try the herb. That's the only time I've been pain-free, and that's why I really want them to legalize it here. But they're just not gonna. All right, guys. So I'm going to wrap it up there. I'll see what I can do with my avatar between now and this afternoon. And, so we'll see what happens and how much suffering I manage to do. And I don't know why the super chats don't work. Ugh. And Coach Eli asks if anybody Bird of Prey 5 is a live coach. Not a very good one. Take care.